Today is a bank holiday in the UK, by the way. I don't know why they call it the bank holiday. When I knew they came to the UK, I used to wonder, like, it's like, I don't know, is it the bank that's having the holiday? Like, it did not make sense to me before, but now I just get that it's just a holiday. You just call holidays bank holidays.
I mean, lots of people have said the same thing. I don't know why the bank is going on holiday, but I'm happy. I don't get to do anything.
Yeah.
Because you just get to chill.
Yeah, so we've both been off today, which is really nice. I worked a night shift though, and I came back and I just been sleeping all day.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And we had one nice rice and stew for dinner with chicken. It was very, very delicious. Nice way to end our bank holiday. How was your day?
Yeah, it was good. I slept too a lot.
You slept a lot.
I love it.
At a point, I woke up because usually when I get back from work, I eat, shower, eat, and then get in bed and sleep. And then I woke up from my sleep, obviously. I slept at like 9:30, like that, 9:30. And then I woke up at like 11. And then I was like, okay, I was fully awake. I was like, okay, I'm awake now. And then I kept on going with my day. And then I saw you sleeping at like 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, I remember. And you were just sleeping. And the sleep just looked so good on you. I don't know how to explain, but it's just like, what's this boy enjoying? There's a secret to this sleep that I don't know of. And I just like, let me sleep it and find out what is so nice about the sleep. And then I slept and I was like, oh.
I see. Yeah.
I see. It was so good. So good to just sleep, honestly.
I woke up this morning and I was like, I was planning to go to the gym. But then after the week we had last week and
the weekend we had.
Mine started all the way from Wednesday anyways. It's been...
Yeah, I had a busy week too, to be fair.
Busy.
Yeah.
And now I'm battling a migraine, so my energy levels are low.
Oh.
Plus getting to get everything set up was just frustrating.
Your eyes are actually bloodshot red, especially that left one.
This one or this one?
That one.
Yeah, man. I told you now. That's why I was complaining. Yeah.
Sorry. Just when you finish, just go and take like paracetamol, drink water and sleep. That's what you need. You feel better.
That's it. And then, what do you guys think about this setup? We are trying something new again.
Uzi is always trying to make us use a different like backdrop or venue. I think it's really nice though, just to try different things and see what we like. Eventually, I feel like we'll get there. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually. But for now, we're still figuring it out. So.
Until we have enough money to get studio space.
I don't even think we need a studio space. I think we just need to just really invest in like decorating the place. Like getting a good area, a part of the house that we can just set up in a nice way that we can now use for our videos. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a proper studio. It can just be...
Yeah, that's what I mean by studio space. I don't mean like an actual studio. Like a spot where everything is just there. Because another thing that really makes the energy low is having to
set up everything all the time. I feel bad for you, but then I cannot help. But all I can help you do is to scream into the camera, into the microphone when you say talk, or to look at the camera when you actually looking. Maybe that thing is you that does it. It's good that you studied it, so it helps.
Yeah. Today I was just watching some videos I made like some years ago, and I was cracking up. I'm like, I really used to enjoy video making.
Yeah, I also actually enjoy video making. I enjoy the whole process. I enjoy recording the video. I enjoy coming up with the idea. I enjoy editing the video. I enjoy putting it out. I enjoy everything about making like content or whatever. That's the reason why we're doing this anyway. So it's nice. So we talked about how our weekend was busy. What we did was Friday nights we had one of our friends was having his birthday on Saturday, so we went for like drinks with him on Friday night. It was really, really nice. We got there late because we closed from work really late. So we were supposed to start at 7. We got there around like almost 9. It was really bad. It was not African time. It was not like our fault. I know people be like, oh my God, Africans always come late. It's not our fault because literally we left work at like 8:30. So we got home, we showered like really quickly, got in the car. And it was like 20 minutes, 25 minutes drive away from us. So it was still really nice just to hang with them. We had like really nice drinks. Then we went for food really late in the night. We had like food. We walked around until like past midnight. And then we just played music in the car and just drove home. I think I've been really enjoying like the kind of friends that we are surrounded by. I want to say that we are surrounded by now. Like even on Saturday, we went for a friend's baby shower at the beach, and then afterwards we went to Falmouth, where Ozzy was busking, and we went with some friends, our really good friends, Jed and Tao, and like I've just been really enjoying like their company.
Yeah.
Even on Sunday, obviously I was working Sunday night, so I couldn't really hang with them as much. But we came home, Ozzy made lunch. We had rice, stew, and one nice beans sauce thing. That was like ayamashi. Aramashi. What's that name of that sauce that is pepper with like a lot of meat inside? Aramashi.
I don't know.
Well, I'm sure
A sauce.
a sauce. Like it was really nice. And yeah, but ours was with like kidney beans and stuff. It was really nice. And then we had that, and then I went to bed while they hung out. And oh, by the way, you have something exciting coming up soon that you're starting. Like, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sorry, my energy is
Sorry.
Okay, so I've been we recorded a couple of videos on Sunday.
Not me and him.
Yeah, not me.
Was he and his friends?
Yeah, we are trying to start. I don't know if we should talk about it. Anyway, we're trying to start a podcast together. We recorded some episodes, and the podcast is going to be the Amateur Christian Podcast. It's just 3 of us. I mean, it can be
Eventually have more people.
we
Maybe.
can have more people, just any amount of people, as long as we can manage it. But the whole point of it is just guys talking about, not just guys, anyways, just people talking about.
I think it should be like a guy's thing. So it like has a vibe to it. Like, oh, it's a like safe space for like Christian guys.
Oh, I see.
Like, now be like so
I
cool.
see.
Like, I think it should be like that.
Okay.
Just guys. Like,
Okay.
where guys, any guy can just come, chill, have conversation about the Bible. Because I feel like nowadays, a lot of men have received a lot of bad connotation. Like, oh, men are, what they call scum and like they're horrible and da 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 da. And I feel like to have this kind of good representation of men on your channel, men that are Christians, men that are pursuing after God and just really genuinely want to know more about God, is a really good thing. And it doesn't only have to be 3 of you. It can be like you guys incorporating more dudes, even married men, single men. Just because okay, Tao and Jed are single. Wink, wink, they are single. When they start the podcast, just know that they're single. So you know,
You can slide into the DMs.
I got you. Anyway, so yeah. So like to just keep incorporating more people, more guys into it and just have conversations. I mean, surrounding conversations, yes, around the Bible, but also just talking about like masculinity and being men. And I think it's gonna be so helpful. It's something that you said one time that I it resonated resonated with me so well. Where you said that you just wish there were more positive examples of men, Christian men, for younger guys, like teenage guys. And I think this can also be one of those positive examples for young men, youths, and teenagers. And you can look up to them like, oh, okay, there are men out there that are like fit, going to the gym, working out, and getting their like A game on their career, and they're also serving God. They are like treating women right, and like I think it's gonna be so good. If you guys actually, if you are following the mindset that I have for this thing, it's so good. And it's good that like coming from Jed's side, who like I just feel like I'm just talking about your podcast now because I'm really excited for it. Honestly, Jed, he's like a project manager, and Tao is a psychologist, and bringing those two with you, the Bible gig, like 3 of you just coming together and making this really amazing trio.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so good because everybody's just gonna come with their own point of view, and it's good also that you guys don't agree on everything yet. So you guys can debate on these topics and make it even more interesting, where people can now also contribute their thoughts to the conversation and be like, oh, I support Jed in this, I think Ozzy are doing too much kind of thing. Or I support how and like that. And yeah, I think it's going to be really good. Yeah. I'm excited for you guys to start. Do you guys have a release date?
Not yet. We want to just keep recording the episodes and have a bunch of them first before we start airing them. And the reason why I think I just wanted us to do it together is I want the channel basically is just people wrestling with God, wrestling with the Bible, wrestling with the text. And for the first episodes, a part of me felt like I was talking too much because I'm very passionate about like the Bible and stuff. So when I was looking back at the footage, I was like, I wish. I mean,
and the thing is, it's good that you guys are recording in batches because then you guys don't have to put out everything. Remember when we started this our podcast, we recorded like at least 10 videos. Remember, we deleted 6 or 7 videos that that never saw the light of day because we're just like, what is this? It was so cringy. So it's good that you guys are recording and then you guys can filter it out and be like, okay, this one I was talking too much, I don't like it. I don't like the way my head was like this in the video. Tao was it? Do you understand? So you guys can now like fix it and then learn from those videos. Because if you never record a video, you never have like a blueprint to learn from. So now that you guys have recorded, you can learn from those videos. Okay, next time we'll do it like this. Okay, the camera should be in this place, like that, and then you guys can like figure out what you want.
Wait, I don't know. I'm just freaking out that you keep hitting this microphone.
Sorry.
The sound of everything.
Even in the previous video, I felt like I kept hitting it. I can't help it. I'm very expressive when I talk, so sorry for also.
And speaking about those videos, I remember I was talking to a friend of ours on Zoom last night too, because even after we finish the Exodus, we still have like a weekly meeting with some guys and we just like catch up and pray together and stuff. And so one of them, John, he was excited talking about how he crossed a new milestone on his Instagram page and he's now over 10K.
Wow.
By the way, you guys can check him out on IG. He's so talented. Like he's one of those people that their art is like unreal. Honestly, he's so good.
John is really talented.
And anyway, he was talking about how he's now at past 10K. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. But you know, a part of me like, me too, I want 10K.
And you put in the work to reach 10K.
And then wait now. And then I went to his Instagram page show and I saw how many posts I had on Instagram. I have 75 posts till today. And he had 900 and something. I was like,
he's putting in the work.
Yeah.
He's putting in the hours. He deserves it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like in a competition kind of way. But you know, in your mind, like, it would be nice. You know, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice?
I feel like these things all come with hard work. Like if you want to see, especially with social media, social media.
That's it.
Especially with social media, I feel like if you put in the work, you will see the results. I don't know how like it might be for other people because I can't say. But if you put out quality content consistently, you will see results. I remember when I was trying to grow my Instagram. This was like a year or two ago. I went from like 2,000 followers to like 5,000 in like a few months because I was consistently
We're just exhausted, though.
consistently posting and posting like good content. And then when I stopped posting, obviously people say following. And I don't really
but
care.
I also think it's not just like when people say quality content.
I mean value, creating value.
True, I think that should be the word because of my background in film and something. When people say quality,
you think like
I'm
perfect.
crisp, everything has to be perfect.
No.
And now I'm just looking back to when I used to be very active online and how
your videos were not quality.
I was just,
if you're looking at the quality in that way, your videos were not quality.
I mean, some of them were.
Some of them.
At some point, I bought a camera last time.
Some of them were, but the initial ones, the beginning ones,
I was just
camera was doing like this.
But that's the thing. I just used to put out a video and not care. But over time,
sorry.
Yeah.
Talk.
And over time, I don't know why I started becoming like
obsessed,
like a perfectionist, and all that. And
I don't get it.
Made me stop posting a lot.
Yes.
Plus my weird relationship with social media.
I remember one video you posted a while ago. You were in the dark. The video was pitch black, and they had like one green light, blue light in one corner, and then you were just singing. I was like, what is wrong with this dude? And you got a lot of views on that video, but it was not quality, like the video quality, but the audio was really good, so it was like good, valuable content. So,
but I was singing a sad song in my mind. I was like, aesthetic is that.
I was not giving aesthetic. It was giving, where are you? Who is the singer here? Where is the ghost? It was not. It was the even who is in the garden. It was not giving aesthetic at all. Anyway.
Stop judging.
I mean, it's been a long time. You've come a long way from that, which I'm happy for.
Well, I think, I mean, I say this all the time, and maybe I don't. Well, I want to just, not think too much about it. I put too much thought into many things.
You do put too much.
And when I do, I just mess everything up.
And I also feel like because you put too much thought into it and you're such a perfectionist, you then don't put out things. Because you're like, no, I want it to be just right.
Yeah.
And then it delays you bringing out content because you're trying to make it just right. And the thing with life is things cannot always be perfect.
Dude.
Sometimes the microphone is going to have that tick tick sound. Sometimes the camera is not going to be clear. It's going to be blurry. Sometimes it's going to be out of focus, and it's fine.
Funny enough, I have at least 6 busking videos that has not seen the light of day.
Oh yeah, you do.
Like not even from this Saturday,
Mm.
even from what's it called? From the last time I went busking that I got a ticket.
That you got a tick. Ah, God. Ozzy has been garnering and harboring and gathering lots of tickets.
It's just 3 so far.
3 that cost us £250. Or even more. God, you want to get more?
No.
I've told
no.
Ozzy, if you get one more ticket, that car is going. It's going. I'm gonna park it in the garage. We're not driving again. Because what is this? That's how many months of insurance? 2 months at least of insurance.
And insurance is supposed to go down. I need to even book that. What's it called?
Get out!
I need to book that.
Now, if Ozzy is driving, I'm in the car, I'm like, slow down. While reaching a speed camera, slow down. Because it's not me that come and collect on that ticket again. Anyway, it's fine. So, yeah, talking about what I wanted us to have a conversation on today. It's interesting how you see nowadays people are just so focused on finding D1. I think it's a conversation that I've had a couple of times with a lot of people. I received a question a while ago on our Instagram when I put, before I spoil this post and say, ask me a question, ask us a question. And one of the questions was like, how do you find the one? How do you know he's the one? I ignored that question because I didn't even say, I don't even know if I'm with the one. So, but I just like reply the person in the DM and say, oh, but like no post it out there because I don't know how to give anybody. I was watching a video and the girl was talking about how when she found her partner, got married to her partner, it was like she knew he was the one because there were a lot of signs. God had given her the stamp of, okay, this is your man. You know how people do like fleeces and say, oh God, if he's the one for me, let him do so.
Yeah.
And he did that thing, so she believed that that's her man and he's going to be her husband. And eventually, yes, now they're married. So coming from that to nowadays, people are always just waiting for that sign to now know that the person they are with is the one for them. And I've always just shied away from that conversation. So what are your thoughts on that?
I remember watching the video, a podcast, and the title of the video is God Told Me She Was the One and We Got Divorced 13 years later.
Wow.
And I really enjoyed the video.
You watched the whole thing?
Yeah.
What was it about?
So he was a pastor.
Okay. He is a pastor or was a pastor?
He is a pastor. He's still a pastor.
Okay.
And he saw this auntie, they were, not even that he saw this auntie, they were best friends kind of thing. And from best friends, everything started, just making sense. So he told God, asked God if she's the one, let this and this happen. He felt strongly that God was saying she was the one. And they got married and everything. And then gradually their relationship just dwindled.
Why?
Difference in opinions.
Did you not have a conversation before they got married? Or they agreed, but then after they got married, I think people changed?
People started changing, especially her own religious views.
Whoa.
They started...
See, that's something that really scares me.
Yeah.
Imagine you marry somebody off of a list.
Yeah.
And you say, number 1, God-fearing. Number 2, fit. Number 3, smart. Number 4, kind. What kind of things? Number 5, this. No, can cook. This. And then you marry the person. Eventually, the person's like, sorry, I don't believe in God anymore.
So for
you
him,
say what?
So for him, that was kind of what happened.
You say what?
Where her faith,
I'm gonna believe her. You're gonna believe.
So for him, that's what kind of happened, where her faith just kind of gradually deteriorated, and he said he was too relaxed on it, and that's why during our last conversation, where I just allow you to do certain things and I don't speak on it, that video was like, was it maybe you need to step up and not just let everything fly, because he said there are certain things that he was just trying to be, gracious and kind, and a part of him wasn't really a protector of his family as much. He wasn't being firm about certain things, so he would just let things fly. He would just let her do her thing. He was pastoring a church, and his wife wasn't like showing up.
Showing up at church.
Yeah, he wasn't, not like he wasn't even wanting her to be like active in church, like do the whole mommy Joe thing.
And that's fine.
That
mommy Joe thing, that one, you don't have to.
But it got to a point where she was,
not even involved in church.
Not even involved as much as showing up. And
I feel like with the mommy Joe thing, it's not necessarily the conventional mommy Joe, but at least you can support. It's just like supporting your husband when he starts a business.
So
I mean, I know. Obviously, being a pastor is not a business, but I'm just saying, like, you support him.
Yeah.
And it's also like it shows your personal service of God. So aside the fact that yes, you will support your husband in what he's doing, but me being a Christian, I want to serve and help my community, like the church. So am I going to serve with the children, or am I going to serve on refreshments or something? Do you understand? Even if my husband is not the pastor of the church, you're not the pastor of the church, but I serve on like many teams at church. So yeah, I think it's normal.
Yeah, so gradually things just started dwindling, and then it got to a point where they were like, hey, this is not working out. Yeah, they prayed and prayed, but it had gone so far.
Did they go for counseling?
They tried, but the issue wasn't the counseling,
Yeah, let it go for too long.
They both had let it go. They both had checked out. She was in a very different space.
Jeez.
Like completely different space, and it's the kind of one that you don't think you're coming back from it, kind of thing.
Jeez.
So
that's so scary.
And their breakup wasn't, and their divorce wasn't
messy.
It wasn't a messy divorce. It was like
mutual.
I don't think this is working out, Shem. We'll be fine. And when they got the marriage annulled in court, and after that it was just like we're still guys, and she was now making jokes that do you think you
she was there?
They went together now, and then they were like, so do you think you get married again? She was like, nah. He was like, for sure. He's like, she was not telling him that maybe she really want to walk him down the aisle. Like,
Jesus, this is so weird. No. We are not doing that.
But the point is that whole the one thing, for me, watching that video just really taught me a bunch of stuff. But does that whole idea of the one, it's just, I don't think it's existent. I don't think I've always believed that there was no such thing as the one.
Something I say is that if God created one person for one person, what if that person had missed it? All of us have missed it
because it's a cascade of wrong the ones. But again, just to emphasize,
I think what people are trying to say is that we are the most compatible. Not the one.
But again,
compatibility is
with the book that we were reading.
Yeah.
That we're reading.
Yeah.
What do you mean by compatible? Now more than ever, that book has just shown me that people you just work hard at the person you're with.
Yeah.
You just learn to be the better version of yourself.
Yeah.
To be a better partner for that person, honestly.
I feel like I from our previous video and from our recent videos, I feel like we've been preaching marriage is hard, but I guess to clarify is that it's not like marriage is hard as in like, oh my God, it's like I hate it so much, and like it's just like it takes work. Like it takes work to make it work. I feel like I'm smart. I know it sounds no.
You're smart.
It takes work to make it work. I need to write that on my stone when I pass away. It takes work to make it work. Dorcas.
But the thing is, like we said the last time, not that everything that is hard is bad.
Yeah.
Most good things in life take hard work.
Tim Keller was talking about a sermon he preached on marriage one time at his church. And then afterwards, one lady came to him and said, the way you preached about this marriage, nobody's going to want to get married because she was single, they say. Because you're making it seem like such hard work. And I thought marriage is just supposed to make us happy. Why do I have to do it? Like, why do I have to get married if it takes this amount of work? And it does take work. I think that's even the beauty of it. That two imperfect people are coming together to try to make their marriage work. Anyway, going back to our initial conversation about the one. When I heard this story of this person that prayed to God, what are you doing? Thank you. But when I heard the story about this person that prayed to God for God to show her partner, and like God literally showed her exactly who her partner was supposed to be, and God also confirmed it with him, I felt kind of intimidated. I felt like, me, I not pray for God to show me what's here. I just knew it was somebody that I like. And I married him. I wish I'd not make a mistake like this. I really, really panicked, honestly, because I was at work when I watched the video. And it kind of just dampened my mood. Because I'm just like, why did I watch this video? Now I'm paranoid that I must have picked the wrong person. Well, looking back on my track record, like the people that I've dated, there are a lot of people along the way that I felt like this is supposed to be D1. And honestly, if I'm being frank with you, ending up like marrying you was not a kind of D1 kind of situation. It was not like I I felt like this really strong inclination that God was telling me you're D1. Obviously, although I had in 2016 said I'm going to marry you, but that really come out of my head a long time ago. But then eventually we ended up getting married, and I just wanted some sign, you know? I just wanted something to show me. And I know I asked you, I said, babe, before you married me, did you feel like, okay, I'm going to marry, this is the girl for me, I'm going to marry? And he said, yes, you prayed about it, and he felt like, but with me, I'm being proposed to. Am I going to tell you that please give me time to go and pray to the Lord and find out if he wants me to marry you before I now come back and tell you yes? You know, I just said yes, and then eventually afterwards I prayed about it. So it just felt like I wasn't given the opportunity to find my D1. And I feel like maybe I'm not married to D1. Maybe I'm
Child.
married to like,
Number 20.
you know,
But the thing,
one of them.
but the thing is, when even after you asked me, and I said, "Oh, I prayed about it,"
Yeah.
and it's not like God said, "My son,
Dorcas is
yes."
D1.
It's just, yeah.
Okay, good.
Like I felt okay. I felt like it was a good decision, because again, this is one thing that I feel that when it comes to God, maybe you can correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I said that yesterday when we were recording the video.
Very arrogant.
Yeah. I said it, so I'm like, yeah. I'm going to say something. I don't. You can correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
That's very
Jed was
arrogant.
like, wow, guy, bro. And it became a catchphrase. So when we're ending, he's like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know I'm right. I'm just like,
I like Jade too much.
anyway, so I feel like God deals with us, his kids, differently. But for the most part, and now I'm not calling you immature. Like this is not immature. God is
Oh, see, I've
wonderful.
been calling a lot of people immature lately. You called me immature in the last video. Now you're calling somebody else immature.
No. But I'm saying that God deals with us.
I don't think it's
differently.
immature though. I think if that's where she is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like God. That's my point. God deals with all of us differently, and so for some people, they need that assurance. They need that fleece, and God.
I think she would have needed it because going through her track record, she was talking about how in the past she had been burnt a lot of times. So she felt like if the next person she dates, it has to be God that will stone her with the man. So I think.
However, I'm still wary about that. As much as that is the case, that she did all of those and it worked out that way, we bless God for that. But knowing how human beings are, knowing that human beings are still human beings, we are imperfect. If things don't start to work out the way she imagined them to work out, or if they have any kind of hiccup, it should not be that kind of, well, I thought God said this was the one. Why is this now like this? But for me now, I made the decision to marry you. I mean, I knew that this was a good decision to make with wisdom. And so when we have our issues or we're having any kind of squabble, I don't imagine, oh, God has led me astray kind of thing. I made the decision.
So much to be honest, because me, I feel like, God, this might have been. I'll get to something, but my friends might watch this. So let me just say that this might have been a wrong. What's the word where your judgment is clouded?
Yeah, you can say that.
This must have been a clouded judgment based on a lot of things. Maybe I did not make the right decision, but yeah.
No, but again, this is an arduous good.
Yeah.
Marriage is an arduous good.
But then we're on good terms. I feel like, oh my God, this is the best shit I've ever made. You know, I always tell you.
Yeah. So it's when we're not fighting.
I am like this ocean.
But that's the thing. So that's my worry with that. And it's not just about marriage, it's about a lot of things. When Christians pray, my issue with most of those looking for fleas is that even if it works out or if it doesn't work out, life has a way of happening, and when it does, many people will now blame God for it going the way it's going. Whilst it's just
Like this catchphrase that this man, like the story you told us about, God told me to marry her.
yeah, do you understand?
I'm not tell it, guys.
No, but again,
But do you
God
think God
did,
can? Do you think God can tell you to marry somebody?
and then it's not work out. Yes,
I think so.
Yes,
I
because
don't know about thinking because it's still dependent on you at the end of the
because
day.
they are human beings. God is not going to come and tie
Oh, but
somebody
this thing of
down.
free will is quite tricky. Because the thing is, God can tell you, okay, babe, I think you should marry this person. But that doesn't still mean it's going to work out. You still have to put in the work to make it work.
Yes,
Hey!
yes.
Wonder shall never end.
Is a.
So what's the that they use? That's why I make the person I'm attracted to and then make it work with that person.
Why not?
Shit, man. That is why there's not the one.
Because again,
That is why there's not the one.
I feel like how lots of us view the world and how lots of us view our relationship with God in the world. Lots of people feel like a lot of things are quite deterministic in nature. That God has set lots of things
In stone.
in
God, I
stone.
dated somebody like that. I'm sorry to interrupt you. He believed that whatever is happening, down to the sin he was committing, God arranged it for him to do it. When he told me that, I said, in my mind, yeah, we are definitely ending this right here. In my mind. But I didn't say it out because how can you say that every single detail of your life, including the mistakes that you made, including your sin, he said he's above his power. God is the one that controls it all. And God is the one that's making him do it. Everything is. I've never felt somebody like, I've never felt like somebody's not the one the way I felt like he's quickly ended things with him.
But that's
Jesus.
the thing. Lots of people just have that at the back of their minds because it would be easier to just relinquish your sense of responsibility
and accountability.
Yeah.
To say, God already arranged it. He's not me. He's God.
But the way God has designed the world, God is still sovereign, and that's why there's a complete dance between God's sovereignty and our free will. God has created a world where we have free will, but He's still sovereign. He's able to still use our free will to bring about his plans and purposes. And so this is not going to be a long philosophical talk or a sermon.
I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful that God created the world. Like, because when I think about marriage, for me now that is so like the ocean tides. And 1 minute I'm like, oh my God, I married the best thing that ever happened to me. And the next minute I'm like, oh my God, I think I made the wrong decision. It's to say that this is the person you have. Now it's on you to make it work. So now it's my responsibility not to blame God if God had actually. Maybe God has given me some form of fleece to say that you are the one for me. I cannot hold God and say, God, you're not saying he's the one, so he has to work. And no, it's my responsibility because I have free will to make this work and I have to put in the work. Because I think that's beautiful.
Even with people, yeah, sorry, I'm just.
It's all right, baby. I interrupted you too, so that's our family motto.
Even with people who would say.
Baccarat cannot be a family motto. Sorry, I'll change my mind.
Even with people who would say that God said so. They like we said, they still have to work hard at it. If not, it's not going to work out.
Yes.
It's not going to.
I wish I could send this auntie this video. To say, babe, I love you. And I watched the video and I was quite taken aback. But still, it's amazing that God literally showed you this man and your relationship is working out. But then now it's on you to make this work. Because if you think that God has told you that he's the one, and then because of he's the one, he's just going to be perfect and he's going to be like everything you imagine, and you two are going to be perfect for him, then you are delusional. Because both of you now have to put in the work.
Wow. Yeah. Anyway.
So then, I think you might not know the answer to this question, but I think it's just worth putting out there. We can have a conversation about it. If there is no D1, doesn't it become harder for people to select a partner, a life partner? I mean, it's easy to date, it's easy to go on dates, it's easy to get into a relationship. That one you can do any day. But choosing to spend the rest of your life with somebody, choosing to be that vulnerable. I remember I stayed there. The way I trust you, I sleep on the same bed with you. What if one night you crying if I shook my neck? What if all this time you have been planning, you have been meaning me, your man? Like, this girl don't cause I mean you. Just, I feel like getting married to somebody is a lot of trust.
Yeah.
Because you sleep in the same bed with the person, and like right now, it's just me and you in this country. Yo. My father, my mother, nobody is here. Your father, my mother, it's just you and I just that. So anything now to happen, you can just do something to me and claim out. Nobody gonna know except for my family that keeps calling me. So like, it takes a lot of trust. So how then do you, if the biggest number one thing to do is not to wait for God to stone you with the man or with the woman, how then do you just know that this is the one I'm supposed to marry? Because there can be a lot of good options, and I've been in that situation where there are a lot of good options. Like everyone is ticking a lot of boxes. Like maybe TMI, but I don't know if you mind. But before we eventually got into a relationship, I was like, I mean, I've said it in our first video anyway. I was dating multiple people, not in a relationship, but I was getting to know multiple people, and you all had like good prospects. All Christians, obviously, because I'm not gonna go out of my faith. All very like driven, all very smart, all like minding their health and actually very fit. Actually, now that I think about it, actually, all of you are very fit. Like really kind people. Like all and most of the people also, I was good friends with everybody. Obviously, you were my best friend among all of them, and I could spend more time with you. But that also meant that with you, I could easily friend zone you because you were the easiest friend. Like every other person there was still some kind of like, oh my god, I'm shy with the relationship. But with you, it was like, guy, I want to mix kind of thing. It was like, I was that comfortable. I was that comfortable with you. I'm sorry. Anyway, but with other people, there was some form of like, some form of shyness, some form of extraness. With it, and that made the decision really tough. That made the decision really hard for me. Obviously, at the end of the day, I was able to make my decision because number one, that uncle was cut out because of what he said about God's sovereignty and his whole life being dependent on God. One of the persons too was cut out because he was such a liar and everything that came out of his mouth was a lie. But like,
so it turns out the decision was not hard.
It was not too hard. But then in a situation where there are actually people that this distinction is not clearly there, and they are seeing like going out with people and just seeing where it goes, because a lot of people do that nowadays, and I think it's really healthy to just like date people. So then how do you make that decision? We're friends already, so the friends thing, get to know somebody, it's not even there. We're friends. How then? Making an example with like our friends now that we know that are talking to really good people, our single friends that are talking to good prospects that we think are good prospects. How then do you think they can make this decision to say, okay, now I'm settling with this person?
Yeah, you choose and then you stick with your choice. That's it. There's nothing else. You love is a choice. You choose a person and say this is who I'm choosing, and then you keep it pushing.
But you know that kind of thing. Your mind's gonna tell you, for choose Emeka, because Emeka, the way Emeka head said, if my first child will have nice head.
But that's the thing. Again,
this Oze way I pick. You can't do so.
Again, one thing that people forget that I'm now even learning more than before is that marriage is or this kind of relationships. Most relationships should be, especially marriage, should be where I can serve the most, not what I can gain from the most.
Oh, my husband, you're dropping lies.
Bro. But that's the point. It's like how you're looking for somebody who you want to give more. So even if you put your mind like that, if you have that in your mind, it's not somebody you're going to get from. It's not what I can get from. It's from how much I can give. And we would all do it imperfectly. It's the same thing that we saw that video of Ryan when he was talking about Cyprus and how he was saying
it's not what you can get from Cyprus,
something. It's what you want from Cyprus.
Yeah, that's love.
Yeah, that's outside of yourself. That's what it means. So with that in mind, is with your partner. So how much more can you give to this partner? So I remember when we were still like just talking, and you asked me, why do I love you? And I'm just like, I choose to love you.
That seems to freak me out because I'm like, no.
Because
you can't just tell me you choose to love me. There has to be a reason. Because me, I pick you because of this. Why do you love me? Give me the reasons.
Because
I want to see my footstep sheets.
If you remember, I also had like a couple of other people around me too. But then I'm like, no, I'm choosing this person and I'm sticking with this person.
I want to ask you why.
Huh? Because I wanted to choose you. That's it. That's
You're
all.
so creepy.
No, again, because in my mind, if I pick one thing that I say, if and I said it to you before, if I like you because you can sing, if I like you because you can dance, or there's something about you, I'm not saying that you can have all those things and be attracted to those things. You should. They should be there. But in my mind,
If those things fade
they are
away.
not the things I hold on to make me love you. Those things are like the icing on the cake, but they are not the cake themselves. You understand?
I'm the cake. Oh.
Because in the situation where you can't do any of those things again, or you change completely because you can, what happens then? I mean, the only thing I know that would change, that I will really struggle with now, is our faith.
Yeah.
Because for me, that is such a huge deal. So that's why when that guy got divorced, I understood it. And people from his church and everything, they stood around him, prayed with him, and they understood it. So
Shit.
outside of
That's
that,
such a hard decision.
yeah,
though.
yeah, it is.
How do you get to that point? Like for your partner, because I'm thinking like it should be something that would have been gradual, right? And it's
Yeah.
something that he would have picked up.
He did.
Were they praying together? Were they studying the Bible together?
The thing is, and again, I'm not even going to lie, I understood him completely.
Because you just don't want to talk. Because that's who you are. That's how you are.
Yes, that's why I could relate. Especially, that's why I enjoyed the video, and that's why I learned it. If you notice, recently I started making comments now. I'll be like, babe, you should do this. Or I'll be like,
Like this evening. So annoyed. We finished eating. And I don't know why. What? The Holy Spirit was the one that told me that wise word. But I don't know why he made me to open my mouth and say, I think we should be doing the dishes before we go to bed in the night.
Which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing. Which is a good thing. But I don't know why I said it, because you would have said it, then I would have been able to use it against you. Because this evening we finished eating, and then I put my plate in the sink, and then I was about to go upstairs. I was like, babe, do the dishes now, please. I'm like, I don't want to. I want to go upstairs and watch my K-drama. And then he's like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And then, you feel bad. You feel guilty. Like, oh, now he's going to do the dishes. I say, well, you said you're going to do the dishes in the evening. So I had to do the dishes. I was so pissed.
but again, you that's the point. I want to, as much as I'm also
me accountable.
Yeah, I want to keep you accountable, and you also keep me accountable for the things that
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
And for him, in his own marriage, the guy we're talking about in his podcast, he said he saw the signs, but you are being gracious, you're being kind. But a part of that
As a Christian, I feel like you should be able
just
to
being
judge.
avoidant. No, it's not that you should, but a part of you just becomes avoidant. You defend your wife. You're like, no, you make room. So it's finding that balance between making allowance and room and being gracious. And then also standing firm on certain things, finding that balance. That was his issue. And I feel like me too, I have that issue. So I'm gradually working towards that too.
I could never understand like their situation, because I feel like everybody's situation is quite peculiar. But I'm trying to think of our situation, and if I ever get to that point, or you ever get to that point, let's say you are the one getting to that point, I would notice that the kind of conversations that we're having will change. I would say the kind of things that you're saying, the comments that you're making, the places that you're going now, the people that you want to be hanging out with. Because all our friends are Christians, not because we chose them, but because that's just how it happened, I have some friends that are not Christian, but like, our communication is not as much as the ones that are Christian. So if your communication starts to change, the way you talk starts to change, the places you go to, you're not reading your Bible as much anymore, you're not praying as much, we're not taking time to pray together anymore, I would notice these things, and I'll be able to say, I mean, for our relationship, again, I'm not trying to compare like how the relationship might have been. I'm saying for us, I'll be able to say, babe, I think like what's going on. Like I remember there was a time that you were not seeing me reading my Bible as much, and you told me, babe, I feel like you're not reading your Bible as much, you're not praying as much. It's like, oh no, I do it. It's just that you are not there when I do it, and I don't have to like come in front of you to say, oh babe, now I want to read my Bible kind of thing, because yeah, you're away and stuff. So when like these things are noticed, I think it's just to do, especially when it comes to faith. Other things can be excusable, but the faith, I think that's why the Bible allows us to live in communities with one another in the church, because then we can carry one another's burden, not just in like helping each other, but also in help each other with our faith. Like to say, oh brother, how are you today? How are you doing with the Lord today? Like how is your faith? And as Christians, even though we are married, we are still brother and sister. Even though we are husband and wife, we're brother and sister in Christ. So I should be able to help my brother when I feel like he's falling or he's not doing so well. So if that kind of thing happens in our relationship, I feel like, I mean, I can't say the future, but I feel like I will be able to point it at and be like, oh, this is happening. And if I want to hear your thoughts. Like I remember when one time I was telling you of how I was having doubts of like, not that I was doubting God. I knew that God existed 100%, but I just felt like there was so much happening real, like in front of my eyes that I could see, I could touch, I could hold, and it just felt like God began to feel like an abstract idea. And I told you about that, and I shared that with you. Although I did not share it with you until I'd come to the resolve in my mind, and I'd like done a lot of research and like re-educated myself about the Holy Spirit and the resurrection and Jesus Christ's death and everything before I told you about it. But it was something that you also had already noticed in me, just that you didn't make a comment, which you're correcting now. So yeah, I don't know. Their story is just really sad to me. It's just really sad to me, honestly.
Another thing that I would say, I mean, we can all speak about it from outside now, but at least it can be a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
One thing that I would say that would have really helped is if she was also very much committed to what's it called, a mentor. And that's why I remember when we're because
I mean, now, my lips are like this. Now I can understand. I need, in fact, a mentor. I understand the idea of having a mentor. I need a mentor. Blah, blah, blah. Who are dating? I was like, I'm dating you. I'm dating you. It can be that we did not work out, and I go to the next one. So why am I mentoring anybody? Why are anybody mentoring me? Because that's why I was quite dismissive of it. If I'm being honest. Plus, I'm as much as I sound like I'm very open and I like to share my life, there are a lot of things about me that people don't know. And I'm very secretive about and I wouldn't share except with you. So to have somebody else in my life to be that knowledgeable about what's going on in my life was something that I felt like I needed to trust the person for. And I felt like I didn't know any elderly women yet that I was that comfortable with to trust to that extent to say, oh, this is what I'm struggling with, this is what my partner and I are struggling with. You had that and you're so lucky to have Ryan that you could just be so open with that. Okay, this is what the person and I are struggling with. But I didn't really have that female in my life that I felt so
Yeah.
comfortable with that I could be vulnerable with. So the more you kept pressuring me to get a mentor, the more I was getting really frustrated. I was like, if I did have somebody like that, I would share, but I do not. Obviously, now that I'm married, I feel like, yeah, I definitely need something like that. And I'm really looking out for relationships with not elderly, but older women that have been in this longer and that can give good counsel. And I feel like I'm seeing some good options out there. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, because why I think those kind of relationships are really helpful. Because if you remember with me, anytime I act a fool, you can just easily
Talk to Ryan.
talk to Ryan. I'm like, hey, get your boy, man.
Or prof.
Yeah, or prof. You know, those kind of relationships I think would help that kind of thing. So when you are struggling, you have, even if it's not your partner, it
You have
doesn't always
somebody
have
else
to
to
be,
talk
you
to.
have someone else you can trust that you can talk to. And I think that those relationships are really paramount outside of your partner. And so my own frustration with you at the time when you would say, oh, but I don't have anyone, in my mind I'm just like, you genuinely, because of your personality, maybe that's what I was not taking into account, but those things you need to work on them. Because in my mind, as much as you say, oh God, there was no one, you were not making any efforts to me,
I was though.
to again,
To you.
to me. It didn't feel like you were making any effort to reach out to the people
Anybody.
that we had around us, that kind of thing.
I think
And
I don't think you just reach out to to these people. I can't just reach out to them and say, okay, I want to trust you and tell you all my life story.
but again, it's not that it will happen like that. It's
The
gradual now.
relationship you built with Ryan was not that you texted him and be like, okay, so I want to trust you now. No, you guys had already built a relationship before you got to the point where you could now share your life with him to that extent. So what you're expecting me to do is to text somebody and say, okay, now I want to trust you and tell you what that's happened in my relationship.
No,
So
no,
here you
no,
go.
no, 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 no. That's again. I wasn't expecting you to just up and make relationship, but I was to move towards a person gradually.
Yeah.
That's the point I was making. Anyway, the whole point was that the whole point is to have people in our lives where we can give ourselves to them and be open with these people and have conversations with them in a very, very deep and meaningful way. That aside your partner, I feel like there should be people in your life that know you completely and truly. And I guess that is really the idea behind the community groups that we're having. That's what the community groups are for. People that you share your lives with. Like what you were saying earlier, the community around you
Yeah.
that God has given us. Anyway,
We'll continue this conversation in the next video because it just feels like we have been just talking and talking.
Bro.
But it's
Bro.
really good. It's a really good conversation, and I feel like yeah, we can keep talking about it. Plus, eventually, when we start having visitors, we can also ask them this question and just
Yeah.
hear their point of views. If they actually think they are with the one and they had some kind of spiritual, supernatural infilling of the Holy Spirit to tell them that they are with the
Yeah.
one. Anyway, thank you so much for watching our video today. As usual, we are the Momohs. Dorcas and Ozzy. Mama. Peace.